Ladies and gentlemen, Big Hairy News.
Hey, kia ora koutou te whānau. Welcome back to Big Hairy News. It's a Wednesday with myself and Magenta. What's up?
Oh, dude, I'm tired. It's been a big day for me. I have pretty much been in meetings since 3 o'clock today, and I got off about 14 minutes ago from my last one. So my brain is feeling a little mushy. But very good things happening. Doing some Green Party planning and scheming. I am officially going to campaign conference, guys. So I get to go and get to see all of the candidates that we're going to have. It's going to be a great time. Kiwi Burb's going to be there. Tiffany's going to be there. A few of our BHNers. Yes. Yeah, and just working on some audio description for the Aotearoa Arts Festival, which I'm plugging because I want people to, if you know anyone who's blind or low vision, let them know that there is some audio described performances happening here in Wellington in the end of February and March. That's my plug. It's been a long day.
That's also, I might as well plug the local arts here as well. We've got
let's go.
The Buskers Fest, I think, at the moment.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Festival, which is always good fun time. I think it's either this weekend, next week, or it's in the next week or so. But if you're into that sort of thing, some great stuff happening in Christchurch. You want to make your way here for some of those cool performances. It's typically a few people from around the globe, as well as your favourites locally. A few Australians usually come over for it. Great. Good time. Good time for arts, I think. Summer's the arts festival time.
Is Mullet Man still rocking the festival? I know I love Mullet Man.
Love Mullet Man?
Yeah, he's great. Great performer.
Well, talking with us tonight, we have the PSA's National Secretary, Fleur, with us to talk about the Fire at Will bill that has been put forth. I just got a hot chocolate handed to me. This is lovely. And maybe some of this Fen stuff that's happening. We're also going to have a look at the PM's Election Day announcement. I thought we'd do a little bit of a fun one. We might have a look at a comparison. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, the only comparison we have is the last two was Jacinda. So that would be interesting. I always like to see what kind of, what things used to look like, what's standard practice and that sort of thing. So we'll look at that. And then obviously we've had a ton of flooding up north. So I think it's probably good to have a look at some of that stuff as well and keep people informed. And it's just kind of been dominating the news for the last 2-3 days, week at least. So
it's been
we'll look at that as well. So let's jump into it. So everyone, please put your hands together for a big online applause. Please welcome to the show the PSA's National Secretary, Fleur Fitzsimons. Welcome.
Good evening.
How are we this evening?
Very good. It's a lovely evening in Wellington for the Ed Sheeran concert. I know lots of young people are enjoying it, and others, all ages.
Oh yeah, yes. I saw lots of people in town going out.
I can imagine it's quite busy in there. Is it, Magenta?
Oh yeah, no. The traffic's been gangbusters. It's a parking nightmare, but good to see people taking the bus and the flamingos to the concert. So
the flamingos, is that your local? Is it?
Yes, so that's our e-scooter and e-bikes. They actually gave you 10 minutes free with code LOOP. So if you want 10 free minutes, loop. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Free promo. Cool stuff. Well, so thanks for coming on to have a chat with us. So there is a bill that is being was put forth by Brooke van Velden, who is the workplace, I would say minister. I don't know if that's her correct term. And you guys have been, I had a look, and actually it was last July that you had been talking about it, that it came through and that your warning wasn't so great. So we've got 2 points up here, which is new law will make it easier for bosses to fire workers at will. Employment Relations Amendment Bill, most anti-worker law in a generation. Kind of give you high level stuff. I do believe the boys have actually, pressed the wrong one. Apologies. That one's the one I want. I believe the boys did talk about this. Probably you must have come on to talk about it last year, because I actually do remember the people. So it's the, you know what? You explain it. What would you like to tell us about it?
Look, I think you're right to link it to Brooke van Velden. I think that's a really important starting point. This is an ACT Party minister who represents a very small portion of New Zealanders that voted for the ACT Party, now coming up with a law that will impact every single workplace in New Zealand. Brooke van Velden's legislation will mean that every single worker in New Zealand is now subject to insecure employment. And a model of fire at will operate in every workplace. So it's the sort of thing we're used to hearing about from America, or programs like The Apprentice, where people can be fired or sacked on the spot with no proper remedies. And effectively what she's doing to the Employment Relations Act is gutting the ability of workers to get fair treatment. And it's sort of a bit hard to understand and a bit complicated. And I think that's part of the reason that it's not more of a scandal in New Zealand today, because it should be. But really what they're doing is a number of things. And I'll just go through some of them. The first one relates to contractors, and you'll be aware that Uber drivers took their case through the court system all the way to the Supreme Court, and every step of the way they won. And they were deemed as employees, and that's a very important human rights decision for those workers, because as employees under our law, they get entitled to things like the minimum wage, bereavement leave, domestic violence leave, very important rights, and also, of course, the right to be free from an unfair dismissal. As contractors, they get none of those rights. So the first thing that Brooke van Velden's done with this legislation is she's taken what Uber wanted and what Uber argued for in all those court cases in the Supreme Court and made that the law. So it'll be very, very hard for workers to get the rights of employees, even when there's a lot of control exerted by the company or by the employer over those workers. But that's not enough. They've also changed the way that remedies apply if you are unjustifiably dismissed in your workplace. So at the moment, if you're unjustifiably dismissed, so you get you get a decision from the Employment Relations Authority and the Employment Court that says that dismissal was not justified, you have access to a whole range of remedies. For example, reinstatement. For example, compensation for the hurt and humiliation that arose from being unjustifiably dismissed in your workplace. And also, very importantly, being able to advance your case knowing that these remedies will apply to you. In these cases, at the moment, if you, as the worker, if you've contributed to the dismissal, so if you did something wrong that led to the dismissal, even though they find it unjustified, the courts or the authority will take that into account. What Brooke van Velden wants to do is if you have contributed, if they say, well, you know, you did do that thing, it did contribute a little bit, even though you were treated unfairly, Brooke van Velden's law will ban your ability to be reinstated or to get compensation. So what employers will do is find anything they can to say the worker contributed to this. Even though we treated them unfairly and it was unlawful, they contributed to it, so they won't get any remedies. Likewise, if it's deemed that you committed serious misconduct, but still you were unjustifiably dismissed, you can't get any remedies at all. So I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but if you just think about how that applies in workplaces where employers already exert massive power over workers, what they'll simply do dismiss people and then know that they won't have to face the consequences later, because Brooke van Velden has given employers so much power in this law change. And there's one other component which I wouldn't mind touching on as well, and that's in relation to unions. So at the moment, where a collective agreement exists in a workplace and a new person starts and their job is covered by that collective agreement, their their terms and conditions for the first 30 days are those in that collective agreement. Now, lots of those collective agreements do not allow 90-day trials. What Brooke van Velden is doing is that it doesn't matter if there's an existing collective agreement in that workplace, you will not be covered by it for the first 30 days. We will not give your information to the union. You'll not be told about the union, and we can negotiate something different with you. So employers will go about, even though there's a collective that the vast majority of union members in that workplace will have endorsed, they will say, it doesn't matter, you're not covered by it. We can negotiate something worse, and we can put you on a 90-day trial. So those are the components that we're particularly worried about. There's also a last damaging component of this bill, and that is if you earn over $200,000, you won't have any rights to personal grievance remedies. So you won't have any rights to pursue a grievance for unjustified dismissal unless you get a carve out with your employer to that. So you can tell it's a very considered way to ensure that every worker is now in a precarious employment relationship where they can be fired at will. And we're really calling on Winston Peters, who I noticed just before Christmas came out on the front page of, I think it was a Dominion Post, saying that he wants to be responsible for a softer form of capitalism. Well, this is the harshest form of capitalism that you can imagine in employment law. Absolutely everybody with precarious work. But Winston Peters actually has the power to stop this. He's not bound by the coalition agreements to support this. So we're really calling on Winston Peters to soften capitalism and to vote against this bill so that workers have some security in their employment, because it is going to lead to dreadful outcomes and it will destroy people and families.
That's an interesting statement coming from Winston. I didn't know about that one. Soften capitalism. I wonder where he was going with that. Yes, that's very interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Well, fingers crossed you can play at his heartstrings. He's we have a love-hate relationship with Winston. Sometimes he gets a big thumbs up from us, and a lot of times he's just an old grandpa that needs to go. So he walks a funny line, that guy. But yeah, that softened capitalism. I have to look into that and see what people think of that. Magenta, is there anything that you wanted to delve in a wee bit deeper on?
I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of still in shock that this is something they would even consider trying to put through. It seems like they just want to set employers up to take advantage of employees, which is just foul behavior. I did see a comment that was asking, when is she hoping to bring it in? My worry is that it will be under urgency. And I mean, that is, I think, a very fair concern to have, given everything we've seen from them so far. So do you have anything you could speak to on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to pick up on your point around taking advantage of employees, because I think you're absolutely right. And they're doing it by design. This is actually legislation by design, taking advantage of employees and exploiting them. It is exploitation in legislation. And we're not only sort of turning a blind eye to it, which often happens in New Zealand where workers can't pursue rights, but actually in this instance, it's by design. It's exploitation by design. The government have run a fairly standard parliamentary process on this so far. So we haven't seen the hideousness of what they did with pay equity. We had a select committee process, however, though, and 3,400 submissions were opposed to the bill and only 34 in favour of it. And when you read the report from the Cabinet, they go through this and they explain that there are a whole bunch of people who are opposed to that, but they just sideline those views. And it's interesting that there are some lawyers in Auckland who mainly represent employers who have actually come out against this. They're worried about it. And I think the reason they're worried is quite a compelling one. They seem to be saying good employers don't need this. And actually what it does, it appeals to the worst elements of employers and gives them license to treat people appallingly. But what we do know is that despite this overwhelming opposition from the submitters, the government are looking to put this through the next stage in Parliament in late January. So we've only got about a week or so to try and convince Winston Peters to do the right thing, to stand up for workers. He likes to be seen as a bit of a hero of blue-collar workers. Well, this is really a test of Winston Peters. Is he really? Is he willing to stand up to Brooke van Velden or not? And it's election year, so I'm actually genuinely hopeful that he will do the right thing. See.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think maybe that means that everyone who's watching tonight, if you have any elderly family that might want to go send an email to him, I might encourage you all to do that, because a week, that they always give you like no time to get any of these things done, and they always try to rush through and expect you to have so much in such little amount of time. So I can imagine the mahi is immense. So thank you for doing that mahi, because that's scary. Like it's bad enough that we have the no cause evictions now, so they can kick you out of your house whenever you want, and then they can make you unemployed whenever they want. So pretty terrifying times.
Yeah, I really like that analogy too, and I've been thinking that as well about the no cause evictions and this, and now they're thinking about the moving on orders. Basically, they are trying to constantly enable power to be able to keep exerting power over people without power. So, and you can see that in the no cause evictions and this, and basically to have vulnerable people constantly living on edge, because that's what this will do. The people, while this does affect every worker in every workplace, we know that it will disproportionately impact Māori, Pacific people and women and migrant communities as well. It's going to be horrific. And I think I've represented workers who have lost their job unfairly, and it's the most harrowing experience. The recognised human responses to job loss that the Employment Relations Authority and the Employment Court consider when they're determining how much compensation to give are things like complete mental collapse, depression, weight gain, relationship breakups, gambling problems, addiction issues. These are the things that happen to people when they're unfairly dismissed. And it's going to be so much worse when they can't even seek justice.
Yeah. And I think there's sort of a cap, or it's for those at the higher end, right? So there's one, I think I remember seeing 180,000, but you're saying it's people over 200,000 on those kind of salaries?
So the people over 200,000 won't even be able to pursue a personal grievance. They won't even be able to raise a personal grievance. Everyone else will still be able to raise one, but you just won't be able to get access to decent remedies. So, whether you're an Uber driver or a worker in a workplace, a cleaner, or somebody earning 250,000, or a worker in a unionised workplace, in some way, they are impacting on your ability to have security at work. And, this government was elected on the basis of fixing the cost of living crisis. Well, guess what happens when people are in precarious work? Cost of living is incredibly worrying to them. I'm concerned that people won't be able to make important life decisions like when to have children, when to be able to buy a home, because they'll be worried constantly about living in fear of losing their job or not being able to pursue proper remedies when they do. It's just the impacts are going to be devastating for individuals, but also for families and communities. And it's not really the New Zealand way. If you're treated unfairly, you should have an ability to seek justice on it and to get some fair treatment through our important employment institutions and to be treated fairly when you've been wronged. And really, this is actually just handing all of their power, even more power, over to employers to treat people appallingly. And I'm actually really shocked that Business New Zealand has come out in support of this. They used to be quite a progressive, modern face of business. They worked quite hard to position themselves as a social partner and to say that they also had workers' best interests at heart. Well, this is the opposite of this. They've really shown their true colours as just wanting more power over workers and to not even let workers be able to get a fair go or fair treatment. It's really appalling.
It's interesting you just said it's not the New Zealand way. I think that's probably the best way I've kind of seen it put to us, I think, in a while, because you are right, like that feeling of justice and getting justice, and not just one system, but across the board. It seemed to kind of be part of our nature as a nation a little bit. And I do feel like that is being stripped away more and more and more. And this very, very American-centric stuff is starting to filter in just little by little, taking away some of those, I guess, New Zealand community, people first kind of spirit that we have. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So you're also working on some stuff with FENS, is it? Can you talk a wee bit about what's happening there?
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow, alongside the New Zealand Professional Firefighters Union, the PSA is taking our case to the Employment Relations Authority. And really what we're asking the Employment Relations Authority to do is to stop the restructure of FENS. They're proposing a restructure that would result in nearly 100 workers losing their jobs. Some of those workers have worked for FENS for their whole careers and its predecessors. They do really important work like making sure that volunteer firefighters get the training they need, making sure that FENS is well set up when fire and emergencies occur in regions across New Zealand. We're really concerned about what's being proposed at FENS. It does amount to a decimation that has not taken into account public safety at all. But the nature of our legal case is that actually under the employment agreements that the unions have with FENS, they're really meant to talk to us before they embark on change. They're meant to talk to us about whether change should occur and try to kind of agree with workers about the nature of that change. Now, that doesn't mean the workers have a veto or get to decide exactly what the change is, but FENS didn't even try and engage with its workforce. And its workforce is full of people with incredible experience and expertise about how that organisation operates. And so we're really asking the Employment Relations Authority to require them to do that, to sit down, to try and agree whether this change is even needed, and also how we can do it in a way that puts public safety at the heart of it instead of cost-cutting, which is the approach now.
You just said health and safety as well. I think Magenta and I have talked about this a wee bit, but some of the ACC stuff that's been stripped from the FENS employment contract. Can you speak a wee bit to that? Do you know much more about that?
Yeah, it's really concerning, and I think this does go to the erosion of public services. And I'm certainly would like to take the opportunity to express a message of solidarity to those firefighters who keep us safe in communities all over New Zealand that, wake up at all sorts of hours to make sure that our homes and our lives are protected. And it just feels like there's a callous disregard for the extent to which people work on behalf of others. And I think as much as the government and employers, and particularly in relation to FENS, try to kind of squash that spirit, it won't work. People are more committed to their work and more committed to public services than this government can appreciate. And I'm really hopeful, actually, the election, which, by the way, is being held on Public Service Day, is going to give us all the opportunity, to
interesting.
really value public services. And that's a great opportunity. And I think we'll be certainly reminding the public at every opportunity of this government's record when it comes to public service investment, which is a record of cuts and dismissals of, people with real expertise, and more to give New Zealand.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, we're definitely on the team of reminding everyone what's been happening over the last 2 years, and I'm a bit nervous to see what's going to happen over the next 10 months or so. Yeah, but it's not over yet. There's still a big fight for public servants, and yeah, you're doing some amazing stuff. Appreciate you, and I'm sure many people appreciate the work that you're doing for thousands around the country. So I appreciate it. And thank you for coming on and explaining some of these things to us and giving us an update. And so there's some missions that people can do, or is it? Is it on you guys now?
Yeah, if you know Winston Peters, or he's your uncle, please get in touch with him. But yeah, we'll certainly be asking Winston to do the right thing here. And we are hopeful that he might listen, but we are down to now the stage where the government are going to try and push this through. We're at the very end of the final reading on this. So if that doesn't work, we're going to have to spend all our time between now and the election highlighting exactly what's happened and trying to give as much support as we can for people who become the victims of this law.
Yeah, sure. Get on your emails and your telephones to your grandparents, guys, and tell them to harass very lovingly Winston Peters and tell him all about it. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time tonight, and I'm sure it's not the last we'll see of you. And well, a little bit unfortunately, it's some crazy stuff happening, but it's lovely to have you on. And yes, all the best.
Thanks so much. Lovely to meet you both, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Catch you
so
later.
much.
It was Fleur from the PSA.
PSA.
Yeah, National Secretary. Wonderful. Well, not wonderful, but
yeah. Good that she's getting that information out, because I mean, I know I was shocked. Like, that's why the second I saw it, I sent it straight to you. Like, what the hell is going on? Because terrifying.
Yeah. No, it's it's. I was just reading through the press release that they put out earlier this year as well, and before Fleur mentioned it, just that quick little one of they did a list here, but the pay equity stuff as well, which I kind of forgot about after everything else that's happening, but. There's a nice little reminder list here, guys, in case you need it. Reminder, the coalition government's crackdown on workers include cancelling 33 pay equity claims for more than 150,000 women and severely restricted the ability of workers to make future claims, axing fair pay agreements that would have boosted pay and improved conditions for low-paid workers like supermarket workers and bus drivers, reinstating the 90-day fire at will laws for employers, plans to reduce sick leave entitlements for part-time workers, hitting the pay of low-wage workers by consistently reducing the minimum wage in real terms, i.e. on April 1st, increase from $22 to $23, which is about a 2% increase. In April 2025, increase from $23 to $23.15 to $23.50, a whole 35 cents, which is only a 1.5% increase. And then this year, it's supposed to go up from $23.50 to not even $24, $23.90.
Still can't get out of the 23s, right?
Again, under 2%. So this amount to an increase of $1.25 per hour compared to a $3.80 per hour over the last 3 years of the previous government. So, about a third of what they did. Pretty disgusting.
Talk about stingy.
Yeah, stingy. Stingy is one way to put it. So yeah, some pretty awful stuff that they're doing, and it seems to be very much continuing. But I can imagine there are a lot of workers out there who just feel even more scared and nervous, like increasingly as these things change. And then also you've got a new workforce that might be jumping in now, new graduates and things who they don't know what they had or what we had, and they kind of get conditioned into these contracts that they may not realize that this is all part of it, but it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like the 90-day trial type stuff, that was, I think that was brought in maybe when I started working. But it was kind of a two-way street. I don't know whether or not that's still the case, or if it's only 90 days fire at will for employers. Because as I said, reinstating 90-day fire at will laws for all employers. Not sure if that includes employees. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that like kind of gets put into the to laws and changing laws and things. But I would kind of imagine that over each term or each new government that comes in, that they make it better and stronger for employees.
That's the hope. That is
but
the hope.
It doesn't seem that way.
Well, I mean, if we vote for a Labour Greens government, I'm sure we'll get back on track, guys. It'll finally happen. It'll just take a while.
That back on track that we've been told about for how long now?
Oh god, but the actual mess that they would inherit.
The actual mess, yes, the actual
yeah,
mess.
Exactly.
Yeah, zoomed in a little bit for you guys. Hope you don't mind. Rightio. We got a few chats that we need to go through before we go to the next story. Oh, Citizen, you finally got an exact number. The final countdown begins. 290 days to go. Thank you for the $20 there. Finally got an exact number. Woohoo! No more infighting.
It's gonna be so good.
Thanks, Kiwi Burb. It's M's Day already.
It's M's Day, my dude.
M's Day, Wednesday. I love it. You guys are so punny. It baffles me.
It is beautiful.
I wish I had that punny spirit. Roden says, I say we fire this government without compensation. Ooh, burn. Tricknut. Previously Danger Mouse. Brooke Veiled Atlas Numpty Velden.
Beautiful.
Love it. Took me a second there. It's in the ballot. Thank you for the $10. Often those who treat people unfairly are also the ones who want to have the right to take your due process wrongly, rights away to avoid accountability for their wrong actions. Yeah.
Accountability.
I didn't even see that. Why is Brooke put an upper pay limit on the bill? I thought her party core values was everyone is equal. That's interesting. I didn't know there was an upper limit.
Yeah, well, because I was actually wondering when I saw that. My brain, I mean, call me a conspiracy hypothesis, but say you're working in above 200K. That's where, like, let's be honest, the horrible manipulating management stuff starts to come in. What if someone wants to whistleblow that? What if someone doesn't want to follow that kind of, type of culture, this horrible capitalistic culture? Well, there you go. Fire him. Get out of here. We don't want you woke lefties in this tax bracket. Excuse you. I don't know, but that's just the first thought I had.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I was thinking with that 180,000 and above, or the 200,000 and above, you start to get into people that have probably been with commercial companies for quite a long time, who've kind of moved up the ranks or just like increased their pay over time because of how long they've been there. Obviously, this is not your typical blue collar. It tends to be your more highly profitable white collar workers. But yeah, you do tend to, as you start to get that kind of money, you're obviously going probably up in responsibilities as well, but up in management and things. And we're still in an old school kind of culture up at that end of things. So I think if you were definitely someone who, or if you were female, very much so, I think you'd find yourself probably a fish out of water, and probably I would say there are a good number of women who have gone into the business world who've stepped up the ranks and have certainly had some HR issues.
Oh yeah,
they may not be willing to expose now.
That's definitely one way to put it.
Yeah. Yes. So I can definitely see that that's sort of an attack on them, which is quite funny. I think for this bill and these sorts of things to come out of from Brooke van Velden, who very much positions herself as the working woman, girl boss type, who's kind of got that vibe. I would have thought that she would have maybe thought of those employees when she was making these kind of decisions, because I feel like that's kind of who she's trying to speak to. I don't know if she successfully does, but that's who she's trying to speak to. I would have, if it were me and I was looking at that and I was someone who was very, and very well up in my career and, starting to move up the ranks and looking at my great paycheck, I would definitely be looking at that sideways and go, I know the people I'm about to start working very closely with, and I do not feel like I can say anything, basically. So.
I mean, it's a bit more gaslight gatekeep girl boss, but I mean, she's aligned herself with the party. Like I feel like there's not really much way to excuse her out of it. Of like she can't say anything against it. She knows the party she signed up to. She clearly said that's the party that I want to put my career on. So she made her pansexual colored bed, because let's not forget, ACT are pansexual flag colors. So yeah, she made a bed. She
pink, blue, and yellow.
It sure is.
Pansexual? No, I'm curious. Pansexual. Oh,
yeah.
Damn!
I told you, 100% to the T, pretty much, because they use a light blue. I mean. It's pretty gay. That's pretty gay of them. Oh, that's pretty woke.
Maybe we should ask them about that. Are you pro pansexual?
Act pansexual flag.
For those who are unaware, this is actually no, I'm not gonna read fucking Google's AI thing. I'll read the wiki one. Pansexuality is sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people of all genders, or regardless of their sex or gender identity. Pansexual people may refer to themselves as gender blind, asserting that gender and sex are not determining factors in their romantic or sexual attraction to others. Would you agree? They've got that right?
Yeah, that covers it. And I also was like, why are you explaining it? I'm like, oh, right, some people don't know this stuff. Cool.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, no,
I'm really gay. Yeah. Thank you for that. I needed that. Ally. I'm a straight ally.
I'm like vaguely aware of some of the terms, but it's the intricacies, but I know there's definitely a lot of people who probably are not Tumblr kids and probably have never come across it. So in a way, it kind of actually aligns with them a wee bit. Attraction to people regardless of gender.
Yeah,
pan meaning all.
We're all equal. We're all equal. Isn't that what they like? We're all equal.
So that's why they chose the pansexual flag.
Exactly. Appropriating my culture.
They're gender blind, so they're also, and they're racial. Like, they don't see color. So, maybe someone in their marketing team was taking the piss and they're like, yeah, these three colors, perfect. Or they're just not aware. Or maybe I don't know, maybe there's something secret going on. I don't know.
I mean, it is also CMY. It's just taking the K off CMYK. They could be lazy.
Should be adding 3 Ks.
Right? That was good.
That was a joke.
One.
Just to clarify, was beautiful. That was me making a joke. Just saying.
All right, where are we going next? This was a fun way to end that section.
Is that my internet doing that?
I think that was you for a second. Yeah, no, it's fine now. It did just. Oh no! I spoke too soon. Fano. Ems,
cool.
Get your hotspot back out. Get your phone out.
Fuck? Okay, I'm gonna say it's my Wi-Fi. It's my Wi-Fi card. I think at this point that I can.
All right.
Positive.
Oops.
No!
There we go. You're back. Holy shit. Is it good now?
Boy.
Yep, we've stabilized again.
I'm gonna need to ask the man to bring me not just a hot chocolate, but now he's gonna need to roll me a LAN cable.
Hey babe, can I have a
this is what marriage is.
Right?
You need a man who's not going to bring you just a hot chocolate, but also will roll you a LAN cable down the hall when you need it.
Hell yeah.
Dear. All right. We have some people to thank, actually. I don't think, did we do our housekeeping?
No, well, we had to get into it because of our awesome guest tonight, so.
We did. I
believe.
We were going to get to the housekeeping. I was clearly staring at it, but I must have got distracted. Right, well, we have to go and say a big thank you to our patrons before we get to carried away. If you want to join us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/bighearingnews. You can join us over there for some changes to Patreon have maybe been announced.
Oh wait, no one told me. I don't even know, guys.
Which you'd be able to get in more detail if you're a patron.
Yeah, right. I better sign up.
Can't show you. There you go. As well as merchandise drops, and if there's any pre-recorded interviews, they'll also go up on Patreon before they go up onto YouTube. So if you want to join us, go to there. You can also support us by super chatting, or you can just share, jump in the live chat, all sorts of ways that you can support us that are non-monetary. But if you'd like to be a long-time supporter, if you've got maybe $5 a week that you can commit to for the next year, kind of helps us plan what we can do over the year. But all your support is appreciated. Another way you can support us is by going to bhn.nz, where you can find all sorts of links, including the link to the shop, in which you can get all sorts of merchandise, hoodies, t-shirts. We've still got our mugs, I believe. They're on there, so I must still have a few left. Probably the cheapest they'll ever be. Who knows? So we've got the Nikki Noboats, the Chewy Fufu, the four of us, tax work less, tax wealth more, classic BHN mug. They're all hand wash only, but they are beautiful, bright orange, bright blue, or classic black. So get those before they disappear. We've got the enamel pins, which I think were you rocking one yesterday, Magenta?
Oh, I thought I put it on today. I was wearing it yesterday. Oh, I thought I had it just before.
Disappointing.
I must have put it on. Yeah, I better leave. Sorry, guys. Wait, hold on. I do have a sticker. if I just real quickly look, there we go. I was super well prepared. Beautiful sticker.
Wonderful. Well, also we have stickers, as Magenta's just showing you there. So yeah, go to bhn.nz/shop, or just jump to the main page and go to the shop tab if you'd like to get some merchandise and support us. You can also find the links to all of our podcasts on the network, as well as, I'll just reminder, is if you'd like to join us on Discord, there's a Discord link right at the top there that you can go straight to. It takes you to the Discord if you'd like to join us. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful conversation happening over there.
Lots of planning and scheming. And playing games, actually. It's fun playing games, doing just some whakawhanaungatanga.
Right, well, let's do a quick one with what's happening up in Northland. Obviously, you've got some torrential rain happening up in the North Island overall. Yes, not surprised. I'll point this out actually before we jump into it, but I was having a look because I was thinking, surely someone's been looking at this from... I think we can all agree that these weather events are completely unprecedented. They're crazy. They're crazy wild. They're crazy frequent. There's just... It seems never ending that every summer we're getting these unprecedented 100-in-a-year weather events. Whoa! I just went out.
Jesus.
It's a new one.
Oh, what's next?
Now I'm having a power outage.
I shouldn't say anything. Actually, I'll jinx us. But yeah, no, it's been absolutely horrible to see. And I mean, climate is just clearly getting worse and worse. Yeah, that's better. And I'm
That's a new one.
well, actually, when in that Green Party meeting I was in, one of the people who was supposed to run part of the agenda was busy getting her sheep moved to a different paddock because of the flooding.
Oh,
so,
no.
yeah, a lot of people having to do some. And I saw a story about a koro who saved some people as well. There's been a lot of horrible things going on.
But yeah, I was, as I was saying, I don't think anyone's disputing this is all because of climate change. So I had a quick look to see if there was any reports or like scientific reports. And I just did a quick little one thinking that this headline was in relation to what's currently happening. But this is actually written in the 9th of December, 2025. So this was in regard to the last lot of floods that they had. And this image isn't even from December. This image is from April in 2025. And I'm sure it actually might even be a little bit earlier than that when the floods happened. So, and I'm sure we all remember Cyclone Gabriel. I think we can all remember the Auckland anniversary floods. The list goes on with what we've been seeing around. So, yeah, it's it's kind of shit because, okay, we're in the dark today. It's fine. Don't warm on light. It's good. We're spooky and moody,
Right?
Yeah, it's shitty because we are paying the price for some of the worst polluters around the globe. Who, I mean, China's kind of cleaning up their act, but it's not just them. There are people still. America's definitely one of those countries that are contributing a lot to. They have contributed a lot to. Not just emitting greenhouse gases and that sort of thing into the atmosphere, but also being complicit with oil companies and things and allowing them to continue to the fossil fuels, oh my God, there's like things like the oil companies paid for research, which basically denounced all climate change, climate science papers that were coming out and like pre-2000, which is insane. Like they've known since the 1980s that global warming is coming.
Actually, before then.
Oh, yeah,
the late 1800s was when a woman researcher started actually putting out stuff about the fact that obviously all the coal production and stuff that was ramping up at the time, that was going to significantly harm the planet and increase the temperature. Like, yeah, well, I mean, of course, the first time it was a woman, so they didn't count that. So then they moved to the 1980s, but yes, 1880s.
Yeah,
Fun
there
fact.
you go. So it's not exactly new stuff, but yeah, as a small nation, a very small island nation, we are very vulnerable to extreme weather events. So kind of shitty. Yeah, but let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the footage that's come out of. I think this was today's article. But yeah, this has been ongoing for a while now. But let's have a look at some of the most recent stuff that's been happening up in Northland.
Well, parts of the Coromandel Peninsula recorded around a month's worth of rainfall in just 12 hours, with flooding making Whitianga completely inaccessible by road. State Highway 25 has been shut to the north and the south of the town. Ava Whitworth has more.
Filmed by another driver braving the flooded roads is one vehicle with one driver, all but submerged on State Highway 25 just south of Whitianga. Thankfully, the lone driver was pulled from the car to safety.
Bro, I can't look at that, oi.
A month's worth of rain slammed the Coromandel in just 12 hours, causing severe flooding and multiple road closures. Whitianga cut off, leaving the coastal town inaccessible by road.
I'm not even kidding. Here's the entrance to where you walk in.
What?
It's completely underwater. Like, the river is there.
This Whitianga resident stranded and scared.
We can't get out. This is like rushing so hard. It's completely, everything is gone. And the hole under the house.
Rising surface water has also forced over 100 campers at Cook's Beach Resort to be evacuated in the early hours of this morning and moved to higher ground. This woman had to be rescued by kayak from her home north of Whitianga, saying she's never seen flooding like it, not even during Cyclone Gabrielle. Others left with nothing to do except wait or plan where they will be sleeping tonight, unable to get home.
I'm trying to find a bed. Might be in the car.
Your family in Pawanui being like, where are you?
I have a wife there that's telling me not to do anything stupid.
What's your backup plan if you can't get through this evening?
We haven't got one as yet.
Being optimistic.
Yeah, we're praying.
Met Service have issued a red heavy rain warning, the highest possible alert for the Coromandel, forecasting up to 290 millimetres of rain on the peninsula in a single day. Early this afternoon, the Thames Coromandel District Council declared a precautionary state of emergency for the region. It may look just a bit wet here and otherwise calm, but by 10 p.m. when high tide rolls through, it'll be a different story here for the Coromandel Peninsula, with many residents worrying the worst has yet to come. They're being asked to avoid floodwaters, limit non-essential travel, and be prepared to evacuate at short notice if conditions worsen. There is also still a possibility of power and communication outages. An already waterlogged region now bracing for another deluge that's expected to last well into tomorrow.
We're going to cross now to...
Yeah. So, turn it off. Someone just said in the chat there was no word from the government, but the next week part of this, Sam Hayes does talk to Mark Mitchell, but as far as I'm aware, nothing from anyone else.
Well, I just googled Luxon speaking on floods, and the last, like the most recent news article is from July 25. And what was the? That's not even when you saw those other articles from either. That was like December 25.
That was the original one that photo came from was July, but yeah. Still, like, these ones seem even worse again. So, yeah. Although I don't like to, but you know, credit where credit's due. Mark Mitchell. I don't know if this is because there've just been a ton of weather events and like crazy big events that have happened while they've been in government. But Mark Mitchell's pretty good. Like, he actually turns up to these things. He's there on the ground. He's actually like part of the emergency effort. It seems to be like he's not missing in action. He's not sitting in Parliament. And, you know, dry weather.
He does
he's
actually
on
work.
the ground and helping. Yeah. And he's probably doing like 20-hour days to help. So as best he can, which is basically just liaising with the government and getting what they need. But at least that's something. So
more than Luxon. So. Which you'd think that, you know, given how frequent these things are getting, why is this not something that, you know, should be a priority? Like you talked about, you know, these events cost us not only just money and the repairs and everything, but think about lost labor, just general well-being as well. Like there is a lot of costs that we are taking a hit for that could be mitigated if kind of some of that adaptation in terms of climate change action was kind of approached, but we know that's too big of an ask from those lot. So vote green.
The vote green. Yeah, so not so great stuff happening. My heart goes out to anyone who's being currently affected by it. we are with you. I know that there's a lot of small communities in the North Island have amazing communities. I know the iwi the different areas do amazing work to make sure that people are housed and fed and do the best that they can to get things cleaned up when they need cleaned up. But unfortunately, I kind of feel like this stuff keeps happening. So each event gets worse and worse, but you kind of just get more and more disconnected, or like it seems to, it's not as bad as, it keeps happening. So there's 100-year flooding events.
I feel like most of us are kind of, whenever there's, this is a 1 in 100-year event, it's like, what, like all the other ones that we've just had, like, go on, get in the truck, like... And I mean, it sucks because like there is a certain level of like stuff that we are just going to be stuck with, but that's why we need to. I think I actually start a comment earlier. Or did I get rid of it? I was basically just saying we need to make sure that we vote in people who are actually gonna, care about this stuff and actually want to change some of it, because. I can't keep seeing videos of poor people stranded in their homes or on top of roofs. Like, it feels like it's been every single year for the last at least 5 or so.
I love this this comment here by Michael Crane. He says, I'm in the Bay of Plenty. Steady rain all day. Knew we would have this wet summer when I saw sea temps coming up so quick. On a positive note, we have mahi-mahi in our waters at the moment. Delicious tropical game fish. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, actually, real quickly, there was a comment from Peter here talking about planning to deploy a mesh-tastic node as a way of comms backup. I've seen a lot of conversation recently coming up about this kind of stuff. So... be interesting. I mean, we're kind of seeing we can't trust the infrastructure and powers that be. So, people powered is kind of becoming a lot more popular.
Also, Peter, worth $5 says it's gone from climate change isn't real to maybe it's real, but we're not doing anything about it, to it's too late to do anything. Very infuriating. Yeah. Yeah, it hurts.
It does. It really does.
It hurts. And I feel bad for all of those climate scientists who've just been battling uphill for many, many, many decades.
Absolutely.
Just getting the recognition that they deserve. Right. Third story of the night.
Let's go.
Let's go. Election date has been announced.
Let's fucking go.
So Citizen Gold can finally get the correct number. In
$2.90.
Super chance. Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool, I guess. It's kind of one of those things of like, oh, what's it gonna be? Oh, what's it gonna be? And then it's like, ooh.
Yeah. That spin-off guy, though, he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it.
Oh, the guy who does the shorts on YouTube?
Yeah. The spin-off dude with the mustache.
I'm trying to...
Beautiful fucking mustache.
Who is he? The Climate Town. He's the New Zealand Climate Town. He's a bit of a I don't want to say a knockoff version of him, but it's very much along the same vein. They look very similar. They have the same cadence. Robbie. Go and look up Climate Town, and then go and look up the spin-off and watch their shorts, and you'll see what I mean. But he's Robbie's amazing. He does some cool stuff. I assume you're talking about Robbie. Wait, Robbie is the guy from spin-off, right?
Like Robbie Williams?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
I was thinking, what's the Climate Town guy's name? Climate Town? God damn it, put your name. Oh, okay, that's confusing. So, the guy from Climate Town's name is called Rolly.
Oh, I see.
And the guy from Spinoff is Robbie.
Heyo.
What if Robbie and Rolly met? Okay, if anyone from Spinoff or is connected to them is watching, can you please make that happen? I will happily facilitate this in any way I can.
Hell
But
yeah.
can we please get Rolly and
Crossover
Robbie
event.
on screen together? That was pretty cool. All right. Anyways, so election date in the election year has been set for 2026. And we got this wonderful. Wait, did they actually have any questions at the end? Oh, okay. There was a 5 minutes and 5 minutes 50, basically a 6-minute speech from Luxon, and it was, as you'd expect, blah blah blah, blame Labour somehow, and even at the end of the second year, it's still blah blah blah, blame Labour. But I was quite curious because I was like, well, there's no point in me criticizing this for being kind of like a bit of a. It felt a little bit like it was electioneering, even though it was just like an announcement. But then I was like, well, maybe that's actually kind of normal for governments. So I went and found the last two elections, the announcements where they announced the date of the next election. And unfortunately for this government, that was Jacinda Ardern. Fortunately for us, it was Jacinda Ardern. So we get to watch a little bit of Jacinda Ardern flashbacks from 2020 and 2023.
Oh, yes, please.
And I thought we could do a bit of a comparison because I just thought it would be fun.
Why not?
But it also gives you an idea of was the way that National have done it this time around a bit different? Is it kind of along the same lines? Is this typically what you do? I don't know. So I thought it would be fun to go back and have a look. Also, it was just a little bit far enough that it was really hard to find the full what do you call them? Clips or the full press conferences. So unfortunately, it's only about a minute of Jacinda back in 2020. And really unfortunately, the date that the press conference in which Jacinda announced the 2023 election date was the same speech in which she resigned. So it's a real heart-wrencher. So we're just going to skip over that. We don't need to look at it. So it took me ages to find it because I looked it up because I was like, government 2023 election date announcement, and it just keep coming up every single time with Jacinda resigns. And I'm like, not that one, the one before that in which she must have announced the election. And then I realized once I found the full video that they were the same speech or the same press. So that was fun. Okay, so let's have a look at what Jacinda and how she announced the 2020 election year date. This is probably the best comparison because this was the end of the first term that Jacinda was in government, and I guess probably reflects what we saw today pretty much. Because it was their first term, and the previous was the national, John Key's national lead government prior. So, good comparison. But anyways, let's have a listen to Auntie Cindy. The first bit is, as you'd expect, it's as per tradition, we like to have the election date announced at the beginning of the year. It gives everyone lots of opportunity to plan, etc., etc. So we'll skip over that bit. But the bit that I want to look at more specifically is the bit that comes after it and how someone who is the current Prime Minister kind of does a bit of a, what do you call it? A bit of a, what do you call it? I was going to say pep talk. That's not what I mean. Takes the opportunity to promote, I guess, themselves and sort of, say, Labour's gonna vote.
Please
vote
give
for
us,
sort of
give it back to us, please.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's see how she handles it back in 2020.
Until the election is held, which today I can advise will be on the 19th of September. This election, I will be asking New Zealanders to continue to support my leadership and the current direction of the government, which is grounded in stability, a strong economy, and progress on the long-term challenges facing New Zealand. We are running an established and effective MMP government and overseeing a strong economy with low unemployment and growth rates that others look to with envy, outstripping countries we often compare ourselves to, like Australia and the UK, or making critical investments in health and education and reducing child poverty. We have made good progress, and we will be asking for a further term to keep getting the job done.
Oh God, no, we don't want Trump. That's enough of that.
Also, this
So that
comment
was,
just made me laugh. She didn't blame National. Did you notice anything? Notice there was no like blame in there?
So unfortunately, I only had that 1 minute 30 clip, and the press release that I found on the government was the government's Beehive website was essentially exactly the same thing, just written out on a piece of paper. So I don't know if it continued on from there, but you can see there that there was a fairly, positive tone. Setting out their achievements that she's achieved, the things that they want to continue to do, talking about a very stable government. And I love it that she says we are asking New Zealanders. It's kind of like not a plea, but also it's just like you're
not being forceful about
asking
it.
They don't have to vote for you.
Just
no
we'd
one's
appreciate
entitled.
it.
Yeah, no one's entitled to your vote, but it's just a nice way of putting it. We're asking New Zealanders, please vote for us again. Please continue, to support us if that's what you want. She didn't say if that's what you want, but if that's what you want. So that was 2020. Yes, I think Rajan mentioned this was before they changed the date. They didn't actually change the election date until August, obviously, because COVID and all of that stuff. So this is long before that all happened. So this was just the start of the year.
Before we knew she was about to go to the dogs.
Little did she know. Right. And then, so very similar at the beginning, as is tradition, we like to, at the very beginning of the year, set the election date so everyone has the chance to do the thing, to plan, etc., etc. Right. And I think start at 0.53. That would be nice if I could find that. Here we go. Right. We'll start here. So this is 2023. Unfortunately, like I said, this is also the speech in which she resigns. But this is how it begins. We'll skip over the sad bit, and then we'll go into a slightly different speech, because she's not the one who's asking to be re-elected, but the way that she kind of talks about the Labour government that people could be voting in or asking for them to vote for them again. So let's go through this wee bit here.
And school holidays, the advanced voting periods, and important events and fixtures. I believe this date best accommodates each of these factors.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Consideration of the date over the...
Oh, you start here, you dummy.
Good afternoon. Today I have two important announcements to make. The first is the election date. Under the last government, the practice began of sharing the election date at the beginning of election year. Early announcements allow for planning and for preparation by the Electoral Commission, by government agencies and political parties, and is, I believe, best practice.
So yeah, that, by the way, is pretty much the start of Luxon's speech as well. They all kind of start like that. Then that kind of goes into the formalities of this has been okayed by such and such and such. Then she announces that she's leaving, and everyone has a bit of a gasp and a cry, including us. And then
profusely.
And then she kind of goes into kind of what we saw before, which was like a post announcement of the date, and then reflecting on her government and why that people should vote. It's a terrible freeze frame, sorry, Jacinda, why they should vote again for Labour.
But I absolutely believe and know there are others around me who do. We've achieved a huge amount in the last 5 years, and I'm so proud of that. We are in a fundamentally different place on climate change than where we were, with ambitious targets and a plan to achieve them. We have turned around child poverty statistics and made the most significant increases in welfare in the state housing stock that we've seen in many decades. We've made it easier to access education and training. We've improved the pay and conditions of workers and
This is
shifted our
making me
cities
want to
towards a
cry.
high-wage, high-skilled economy. And we've worked hard to make progress on issues around our national identity. And I believe that teaching history in schools and celebrating our own Indigenous national holiday will all make a difference for years to come.
Ouch.
And we've done that while responding to some of the biggest threats to the health and economic well-being of our nation, arguably, since World War II. The team that has done all of that, they have been some of the best people I've ever had the privilege of working with. And they are well placed to take us forward as we continue to focus on our economic recovery with one of the strongest economies in the world. They are also a team who are incredibly well placed to contest the next election.
And then it gets a bit because obviously Labour was not re-elected, but you can see the general tone in which she, set the scene for what the government had achieved and why she would like people to vote for them once again.
Does Luxon even have any achievements? Oh, I guess the ADHD thing was cool. I'm trying to think of other ones. I'm sure there's some.
What are you talking about?
Wow,
Shit to
yeah.
do with that.
True. Under their government.
Yeah, so nice to see her back on the screen.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see the general tone that Jacinda takes, even after she almost burst into tears and everyone else did because she had to resign. Looking back on it now, you can tell that she did not want
Dude.
She
I
did
see
not
that in
want to
such a different light now also too. You can see the actual just genuine mental fatigue and almost just a fatigue of the soul. You can see that there's just a part in her that's because I mean she went through such horrible stuff during that time too. So oh man, but even seeing that still would be much more hopeful than old thumb face.
Old thumb.
He's a human thumb and I don't like him. He's a downwards thumb.
He's a downward thumb.
Dislike button.
So yeah, the words I put there on both speeches, even after the announcement that she gave, where she said she was resigning and she was pretty upset about it. Very uplifting, positive. There was still a vision. There was kind of this care of just a warmth. I freaking loved her. She was amazing.
Yeah.
A real genuine warmth about her. Yeah. So that's how she handled it in the last two elections, just to kind of give some context. Also, some of the achievements that she was talking about, as much as they hurt our souls. We're talking about Te Tiriti history in schools. We're talking about I think
Te Aka Whai Ora.
Yeah,
the Māori Health Authority. We had
as well as Matariki, bringing that in as a holiday. So that's further. And she talks about bolstering the national identity, our Indigenous identity here in New Zealand, the child poverty rates and things. There's what was the other one? The climate change stuff.
So much climate change stuff because RMA stuff as well, obviously, because they had put out a really amazing adaptation as well as prevention plans for climate, not just here but throughout the Pacific, because obviously we're all cousins. We got to keep an eye out for each other. And yeah, it's sad to see how many things have just been thrown in the trash, a waste of the money that they were too. Te Pūkenga came in under them, I believe, which then just got axed. So many. Oh, ferries. Oh my God. How did we forget the ferries? Thank you, Peter. The fucking ferries.
I love that it's like this is an achievement. They ordered some ferries.
Right? They did their job. They negotiated a good deal. Oh.
So I think we've all had a little bit of a palate cleanser, and now I'm about to ruin you with, what was it? Thumbhead?
Ooh, don't say you're going to ruin me with thumb face. That is not a sentence I want to hear.
Okay, so this is how Luxon starts his announcement of the election date. Let's see how this man would like to do the thing.
To fix the basics and also to build the future for every single New Zealander. As you know, when National came into government 2 years ago, Labor had left a country in deep trouble. The economy was damaged with record high inflation, skyrocketing mortgage repayments and stagnated wages. Violent crime was rising and there were hundreds of ram raids a year. There was more welfare dependency and kids' educational achievement.
Wait,
was
what?
plummeting.
Can you pause it for a second?
You knew it would be hard to turn.
Welfare. There's more welfare dependency. What an absolute joke. We've seen the beneficiary numbers skyrocket. Sorry, I just had to get angry at that for a second. Feel free to continue, but Jesus. It's not a good start.
I found my cat.
Oh, nice.
We were looking for her, and I just heard this like shaking of the ears. And I was like,
oh, did my foo-foo wake the cat?
You might have woken her up.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's 30 seconds in, and that's how Luxon decides to start the election.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
And kids' educational achievement was plummeting. We knew it would be hard to turn things around when we first came into office, but over the last 2 years, National has been plugging away, working hard to fix the basics. We've done that by lowering inflation and interest rates to begin.
I just remember all those points that we talked about, what Jacinda was talking about, all the things that they had achieved. There's a theme that runs through what Luxon thinks is his top achievements. Just wondering if you can just let me know if you can figure them out, okay?
We've done that by lowering inflation and interest rates to begin easing the cost of living. We've done it by reducing taxes on Kiwis to put more money into people's back pockets. We're making it easier for Kiwis to farm, to build and to grow businesses. And we're making our streets safer by cracking down on crime. And we've been getting our kids back to school, teaching them the basics brilliantly so they're set up for a great future in life.
I don't know if you heard it, but it was the first wee bit was money.
Mr. Krabs.
He's just outlined the things that he's done, and they are business economy type stuff, law and order type stuff, and then the kids' education type stuff. So he's already kind of outlined the things that he's achieved. Okay.
Oh, and the crime stuff was a dog whistle too. Major dog whistle.
A lot of things they say. Okay, so he's got those under his belt. Cool.
We've made a lot of progress by fixing the basics in all areas, but particularly in the areas of the economy, law and order, and education. An end to wasteful spending has helped to drive down inflation from over 7% to just 3%. And interest rates have been cut 9 times, with families now refixing mortgages from 7% with rates that start with a 4 or a 5.
Oh, cool.
More police are out on the beat, and a tougher approach to crime has certainly helped to deliver some exceptional results. We have 38,000 fewer victims of violent crime. Youth offending is down 16%, and ram raids are down 85%. We've had a raft of changes in education to get back to teaching literacy and numeracy brilliantly, alongside banning cell phones and having an hour of maths, reading and writing in each classroom. We've dramatically improved achievement among our kids in just 2 years. For new entrants, those achieving at the expected level has already gone from just 36% to 58%. So after 2 years of fixing the basics, we're now seeing real progress in the country.
I don't know if you guys heard it, but he also said fixing the basics about 3 or 4 times. And
right, because that's their slogan, isn't it? That's their fucking campaign slogan.
He kind of said the same thing twice. Oh, by the way, this is the election date speech. we haven't yet heard what date the election is, but we have heard 2 minutes 30 of him speaking. So let's just continue because I'm sure it's coming.
Country is turning in the right direction. Yep, there's a lot more for us to do, and National is focused on building the future. Building the future means we're growing the economy to create more jobs and better opportunities for Kiwis. We're hustling out there on the world stage to deliver new trade deals for exporters, and we're getting rid of the RMA to clear away decades of red tape. Building the future means maintaining disciplined spending so that money that you work so hard for is wisely spent and not wasted. And it means building the schools and the roads and the hospitals that you rely upon in your community. Yes, it means replacing NCEA so that New Zealand kids get the skills that they need to grow and your child gets an even better shot at a future life. And it means increasing KiwiSaver contributions so that you and your family can be more financially secure in retirement. Fixing the basics and building the future.
Fixing the basics, building the future. Okay, right, we got there.
Yeah, campaign slogan again.
All right, okay. Future, exactly. All right, election date.
Is about a basic promise that National made at the last election.
Basic.
And that was quite simply that if you work hard, you get your kids to school, make the right choices for your future and your family and your community, then you deserve to get ahead. And at this election, National will renew that promise. So today, I'm continuing the recent tradition of setting the election date early in the year to ensure that New Zealanders have certainty. And so with that, I can announce that the 2026 election will take place on Saturday, the 7th of November.
Cool.
With National, New Zealanders get a party with a plan to fix the basics and to build the future for all Kiwis.
Wait, what do you need a plan to fix the basics? I thought he said they already fixed them. That doesn't...
They're fixing the basics again, okay? That's... Fix the basics.
So they're redoing the first job because they didn't...
And now they're fixing the basics, okay? Just they're fixing the basics, Magenta, okay? How could you not get that? He said basics about 10 times.
It's clearly because I wasn't educated well enough because I'm a fucking Maori who was born with a uterus.
NCA.
I'm too dumb. Actually, no, I didn't even do NCA level 3. I gapped it after an NCA level 2. High school dropout. Let's go.
Well, that's your issue. Okay, so, fixing the basics.
All generations to come. And we've proven that we can deliver on it. The alternative, a Labour to Party Māori Greens government, would send New Zealand backwards again.
Back to blaming Labour.
Right. And then throwing us under the bus.
From now on is real. I didn't realise it until I actually watched Jacinda's. But I realise how much he's fear-mongering.
Oh, yeah. That's all they've been doing this whole time. That's why they're always dog whistling.
Yeah, for sure. But just having watched Jacinda, who didn't even mention anyone else, she was just purely singing her own praises because doesn't need to go blame National for the situation that they're in. But I didn't realise how much fear-mongering this was. So just now that I pointed it out, it's going to be very blatant.
A Labour to Party Māori Greens government would send New Zealand backwards again. A capital gains tax would be just the start of policies that punish Kiwis for doing the right thing about saving and investing. Because you can always be sure that after Labour spends everything they've got, they will come straight for more of your own money. And with Labour at the helm, New Zealanders get the same team that left an ungodly mess by spending way too much, focusing on the wrong issues, not delivering, and making mistakes that made many Kiwi families worse off. The economy is recovering, and National's plan to fix the basics and build the future is delivering results for you and your family. Now is not the time to put all of that at risk.
Now is not the time to put all of that at risk.
Right, because he knows that things are going to fucking shit around the rest of the world, so he's basically threatening us. That's political violence, Whānau. This is the way that violence slips in.
So anyways, I think we've heard enough of that. That kind of gets the idea.
Yeah.
So, real fearmongery.
That's all he's got.
You know what it feels like? Because I also watched Chris, the Labour one. Not even just that, but a lot of what you hear from the opposition parties is kind of the same thing with fear-mongering. Like, if we fear, it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing of this current government is doing this, and this. We believe it to be true. it is most if not all of what they're saying is factual, yes. But it is, and it's clearly stating the facts. But again, it is kind of along the same lines of its fear-mongering. But they are the opposition party. Their role as the opposition party is to criticize the current government of the day. He kind of made a speech that was like he was in opposition, not like he was the man in charge. And I've never put those two together, but
well, yeah, because he was talking as if we had, well, because I think it almost feels like maybe subconsciously this whole one-term government thing has maybe gotten to him a little bit, because I think that is a bit of a faux pas, and that he talks about them as if they're the opponent, and then you're right, he flips into, and if you'd vote for them, this is all the horrible things they do, because, well, they know people are definitely looking over at Labour and going, well, I might not like all of it, but this is a fucking dumpster fire. So, and it's, I guess it shows he's scared a little, though. I think it does show that he's realizing that he's going to have to basically do a hard right, probably fascism tactics to actually have a chance. Because the thing is, you know, we've all kind of seen it, is that people who weren't really talking about politics are talking about how bad this government are. Like, this is I would even argue it is unprecedented, the amount that this country has kind of gotten interested in politics, even if it's just to shit on David Seymour and Luxon, which, to their credit, thanks for mobilizing people, but we also have to make sure that we don't let any of them get captured by those lot. Because we might think that some of these things look stupid and dumb, but there are genuinely people who see that and feel comforted and feel like they've got something to look forward to and hope, which I know is really hard to imagine for a lot of us, because I don't think any of us could even fathom being like that. But yeah, this weird slogan of fixing the basics, and what was it? That other one, the other half of it.
Back to basics. Fixing the basics.
Oh yeah, fixing
the basics. Yeah,
which is just it's
just
shit.
It's a really weak source campaign, though. Like,
yeah,
businesses, I mean, to be fair, Jacinda, those two speeches from Jacinda was much the same, of like, you know, vote for us, stability, we've got things, doing things, everything's under control, the MMP system is really working, vote for us for more of the same, basically. So it's also kind of like a, you know, point to the things that, the achievements, and then the opposition party is obviously going to go big, bold policies and that. But it also feels like, I don't know, I don't know if it's because of the mood of the nation and we're all kind of like looking at all the shit they've done, and there's not really much you can point to that's like, oh yeah, no, you've done this, and they've done this. And I don't know if I feel like they've done it to themselves, where they've continued this narrative of things will get better. It's not a look at what we've done, even though they did have a bunch of things like, yeah, we abolished this and we abolished that and we cut this and we cut that. Like, the mood of the nation is still kind of like, yeah, you guys haven't done shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what their policy, I don't know what their campaign strategy is going to be this year, but it so far sucks ass.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of two things that it has me wondering. First was a kind of something I noticed actually when I was just walking home today, is here in Wellington, we have a lot of businesses that have started, actually, you now have two businesses inside one establishment, which means the economy is so bad that even businesses have to have flatmates. Because we had like a place here called Gorilla Burger. They closed down. Now they're running out of Hotel Bristol. And there's heaps of them, like even just down by Parliament. There's a bunch of them on the terrace that have merged into one. And so like the economy's not doing well. And it just seems like I'm also thinking in terms as well of like, you know, obviously with everything going on in America and the imminent World War III that feels very, very close. It reminded me of back in my psych lessons and stuff, right? When it comes to times of war, people do tend to kind of naturally drift towards what is seen as strong, powerful, which obviously in our Western world, like capitalist, misogynistic world, is men strong, like that very masculine thing. And I feel like that may be something that he's really trying to play into. Like, you know, like we are kind of getting into that mentality. I think that's where, you know, we need to see more mongrel from Chippy or something, because I think people are feeling a bit like that. People aren't feeling as safe and stable where they might act, because when things are more safe and stable, people tend to drift towards, you know, people with warmth who they feel like they can trust. But when it comes to these times, they want someone, and that's just, it feels like he's just trying to maybe build up some of that kind of persona and come across that way to people. So, yeah, it's interesting. Not interesting good, interesting bad.
It is just interesting. That's the only way you can put it. It's, yeah, interesting. Yeah, so that's that. So Election Day has been announced. He's boring. Election Day has been announced. There's just a bit of a comparison of what we've seen in the past and what we've seen today. I think continuing this whole thing of blame Labour is going to shoot them in the foot. Reminding people of what they had is about all they have, because they can't point to anything that's significant, because everyone feels that they're not in a better position and that National haven't delivered. So I think their entire campaign is going to be fear-mongering, blame Labour, look at what you had, isn't it just a little bit better than what you had under the other government? You know, like this thing of like, don't, what did he say? Don't screw this up?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it does very much seem like he's going to be like, you know, you'll basically be sorry if you vote for them.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting play, to be honest. Maybe he's trying to find a spine.
Now is not the time to put all of that at risk. There you go. Quote.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. What is all of this? Because I don't know about you guys, but all of this from these guys seems like mostly just, we're just holding our hands out while they shit into them. That's what it feels like. I mean, we're seeing record numbers of unemployment. We're seeing people leaving like no tomorrow. And I think it's only going to get worse the more that these things go on, because, cost of living, wages aren't good enough. This business confidence that he so-called has, I don't know, but the businesses in Wellington don't seem pretty confident. I don't know if he's asked them, gone around and talked to them, because even though the Wellington Council didn't go through with the Golden Mile, businesses still died, funnily enough. It's almost as if the attack against it had nothing to do with businesses and just woke stuff. So yeah, it's, again, well, we got a lot of mahi to do this year, guys. We got so much
it's only a big one, guys.
I'm tired already. Oh.
All right. Super chats. It's Kiwi Bird. $2. Luxon achieved getting the price of meth down. That's true. Lowest price ever. $1,000 down to $300.
Now at Briscoe's, right? The Briscoe lady has started dealing because the economy's too bad.
Look, I'm just saying, now's the cheapest time to try meth.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, I hated that. Oh. I
am not endorsing the taking of drugs. I am just stating the fact that
unless it's methylphenidate or dexamphetamine that is prescribed by your doctor.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Harvards for $2 says, how are those 500 new cops going? The ones
How
that
are
went to
they going?
Australia? Loved
Yeah,
it.
pretty much.
Also, I do love that. I love this EB Games lady.
Oof. Oof. I mean, it is really that bad, though.
There's so many EB Game stores. They could have just you could have just merged one and be like, there you go, there's your flatmate. It's another EB store, EB Game store.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it is
did
pretty
not
bad.
say that, Michael.
You're getting called out.
I just said it's now the cheapest time to try.
I mean, you did have the energy of like buy now, like those shopping channels. Just buy now on special. We have at the lowest
New Zealand
price
has the
you'll
cheapest
see.
net.
Fire sale.
Oh, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
No.
All right. Cool. Well, that's all our stories for tonight, I think.
Yeah.
The only other one that kind of came onto my radar, but it was way too late, is again some of the stuff that's coming out of the World Economic Forum. Yesterday I was talking about the labor wave, the red labor wave we've seen.
Yes.
We got Albanese, we got Keir Starmer. I'm not saying that these people are particularly big and left wing, but they are the leaders of the Labour parties. And then we had Mark Carney, and I was kind of like, Canada. Oh, that's right. What was his name? Mark Carney, whatever. His speech at the World Economic Forum was quite surprising.
I haven't seen it.
It's just kind of skipped the first half because it feels like it was written for. Well, part of it was in French. It felt like it was very much written for people who have big brain and like to use big words.
Oh, yeah, classic.
But after about the halfway point, he started to speak, normal language a little bit. It was very much I think it was Canada kind of putting their foot forward to be the new, the new US, even though the whole of the speech was us middle, what do they call them? Middle powers. Us middle powers, when forces combine, us middle powers can beat the fascists. Something along those lines, basically. But it was also kind of like a look at what Canada has. Like, we got the smartest people. We got great energy production. We've got capabilities, economic capabilities. We got trade deals with everyone. I don't know why they were like, we have one with Qatar, and I was just like, Qatar as in Qatar, Qatar,
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, they don't have a great, human rights and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, but they were like, yeah, we've got trade agreements with them. We got trade agreements with people in the Southeast Asia and all of these things. They're really talking a big game about how they're kind of positioned to basically be the new US in terms of like big country in the Western world kind of thing, I guess.
Kind of taking America's place.
Basically, yeah. So
in
they
our
were
little
kind of positioning
commonwealth.
themselves as like, we want to now be big top dog. But at the same time, the speech's general vibe was us middle powers need to powers combined and defeat the fascists. But yeah, didn't at the same time really kind of beat around the bush and didn't call out America and didn't use the words that probably the rest of us would use, like fascist, dictator, ideological, those kind of things. Capitalism, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, fascinating speech. I'm very interested to see. I think everyone's kind of pointing the finger and just going like, nothing's going to come of this. It's all talk. But yeah.
It'd be interesting to watch, though. I mean, all we can do is sit by and watch the dumpster fire burn, and hopefully Canada can roast some marshmallows over it. You know what I mean?
Well, they might come out on top. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it'd be strange, but I'm for it.
Or what we're going to see is it's all hot air and talk, and it's nothing's going to happen.
There is also that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. We've still got a whole week of this whole Greenland bullshit, and let's see if we get World War III at the end of it.
Right. Actually, let's call it. We should start taking bets on whether we think World War III will start before or after our election. That should be the next one we start doing.
Oh God, no! It has to happen afterwards.
I know, but also like Trump's escalating things so quickly. I am genuinely worried, dude.
But if we go and if let's just say World War III does not resolve by our if it starts and does not resolve by the election, we could be stuck.
Oh, dude,
with the
I know.
Government.
I probably shouldn't have kind of put that thought forward to people to go to bed, but yeah, that's kind of where my brain went. It actually also reminded me there was some other dates that someone has kind of pointed out that are relevant to our election that I thought it might just be interesting to have a quick nose at before we head out. So y'all are getting group chats from the Greens. So there we go.
Were you allowed to show?
Yeah, no, I'm allowed to. He's posted these online too. Okay, so other important dates to take into consideration. 24th of September is when the House adjourns. 1st of October, the dissolution of Parliament. 4th of October, writ day and beginning of broadcasting period. 8th of October is nomination day. 26th October, advance voting begins. That will end by no later than December 3. So basically the regulated period where spending is regulated and theoretically governments stop making major decisions should kick in around early August, but we also have this current... Oh, yes, but we also do have to remember that this is a government that likes to push it through urgency, so that is... They shouldn't, but they've also kind of broken the kind of unspoken word of other things. There was also another date that was put forward as well that's also important, is the 6th of August, because this is the last date to switch to the Māori role due to the changes that were made. So definitely some dates to keep in mind. I'll post these in the Discord as well if people want to have a look at them, but yeah, it's not just November 7th. We've got a lot of important dates to look at. Also, I've been a bit behind on it. We've got to start getting better at checking the submissions website, Whānau. I've gotten real slack, I'm not going to lie, so I'm pointing fingers at myself as well, but as of hopefully the next couple of weeks I'll get to be able to have a look at some of them. But yeah, they're going to bombard us with so much crap. It's going to be a lot to keep an eye on.
Religion says get your whānau enrolled by Labor Day. That's a good date. Enrolled by Labor Day. That's a really good date. Good day to remember. All right. Before GTA 6.
World War 3 or GTA 6, actually. That's another one too. World War 3 or GTA 6.
Oh, we must know. America can't fall before we get
I know.
video games.
This is why I'm scared.
Unless they've pushed development offshore, then it's fine. But
I'm sure
if the
China
game
could
is
take
not
over.
being pushed offshore, we're fucked. We'll never see it.
So funny. I'm sorry, the memes are too good, Whānau.
Alrighty.
But yes, let's get out of here.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
I think we've...
It's been a long day, dude. I've been basically talking to people since 3 p.m. today. I'm too autistic for this shit.
It's a big job. Big job, boys.
Big job, but someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
All
right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, boys. Nothing exciting. No, nothing exciting. Sorry. No exciting announcements, pre-show announcements. I don't have anyone lined up for anything, so it should just be the two of us. But
Hell yeah.
in saying that, I was thinking I might see if Pat could get us Robert Patman, if they're free, to come on to maybe have a chat about what the hell is going over in the US, because it's kind of the hot topic, or it might be better to wait till next week. We'll see. Seeing as things just keep
Yeah, right. He could come on this week and then have to come back on next week anyway.
Exactly. He's going to have to be here again next week. So
all the time.
Just, we'll wait
until Trump dies or does something even worse. I don't know.
Who knows? All right. Shall we play the credits?
Yes, we shall.
Kids off to bed, eh?
Right, I got a headache.
Bedtime, kiddos. Off to bed. Off you.
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. It's a fine line that we're walking together. For better, push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in. As many points as the hairs on my chinny chin chin. When the news that we're watching is hairy, knowing all the things that we need to be wary of. Like the rich have the hand out for rewards, while the many have to work out what they can't afford. And the rest of us ain't paying attention, or maybe have questions we're too worried to mention. Other media is still dwelling on trivial facts, vetting peas from the rice and the mice from the rats, and picking and choosing who war puff to run, and linking ourselves with the hill to die on. It's gotta come down to a welcoming vibe, with an A in a self and a higher mind. All heavily either this way or that, and will be analyzed by what you impact.
And Cat.
With the evil in the world trying to mess with your head, and you're sitting on the couch, you're thinking chivalry's dead. Each night, two nights, they're gonna sing you to bed. It's big hairy news.
Oh no.
I can tell you guys that you're all amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Luna and I say good night. We'll see you back tomorrow here at 9 p.m. for more Big Hairy News. And yeah, anything to say before we go, Magenta?
I'm going to do a karaoke version of this song one day, so keep an eye out, Whānau. We'll sneak it up on you, so you have to stay till the end all the time to see if I do it. There you go. Keep cool to after school, Whānau. Night.
Wonderful. Catch us tomorrow. Good night. Bye. Johnny. Bye.
Oh, such a cute kitty. I think we ended it right.